So hi everyone, welcome to Collabera Tech, and this recording is all about a demonstration on Hadoop administration course and also importance of Hadoop administration course in the Hadoop world and a few other things. So the agenda is all about discussing about the Collabera Tech and a few lines about the trainer and who can take up this course and Hadoop administrator role in the Hadoop world, highlights of this course objectives, and the most important thing is what learning outcomes can be expected. And finally, I'll end this meeting or I'll end this recording with a demo. So this is the agenda, guys. So let's start, and my best wishes to everyone. So TAC is a award-winning training arm of Collabera. So TAC is a part of the Collabera, and we have offices around 40 offices in various locations like US, Canada, India, Philippines, Singapore, etc. And Collabera TAC has proudly trained 10,000 plus professionals in the corporate world, and we have around 350 plus clients across the globe, and we are amongst the top 3 vendors for 75% of our clientele. So we provide best-in-class trainings on emerging technologies like big data and the cloud, Internet of Things, etc. So this is in short about the TAC, guys. So let's move further. So the awards and affiliations of the TAC, you could see it is one of the most recognized training institute for providing training on top 5 emerging technologies in the current world. So it has been recognized by the Silicon India, and we are also very proud best training provider for big data Hadoop developer, and along with that we are ranked one among the top 10 IoT training companies for the second consecutive year, and also we have partnership with Hortonworks. We are a global community partner with Hortonworks. We have advantage partnership with Mapper, and also we are registered business partners with IBM, and we are authorized training partners with Google developers. So in short, you can see if you see the slide, the TAC has so many awards in the emerging technologies like big data, IoT, cloud, etc. So this course is all about Hadoop administration, and we are going to talk about the Hortonworks. So this is about the TAC awards and affiliations. So a few of our product clients are proud clients are Citrix, HCL, Accenture, Tata Consultancy Services, Cognizant, Credit Suisse, Airtel, etc. And this slide contains only a few of our proud clients. And as I said in my first slide, so Collabera TAC has around 350 plus clients who are very important for us. So the number is still counting, and these are on a few of our proud clients. So going further, we have a global footprint. So we have our offices located in United States, Canada, Ireland, United Kingdom, UAE, India, Malaysia, Singapore. So this itself says that we are not restricted only to a particular location, but we are extended to all the locations in all over the world. So Collabera TAC is going to plan their offices in South America and also in Africa and Australia. Sooner, we will see the global footprint covering all the continents in the world. So this is about the global footprint of Collabera TAC. So with this, you can say Collabera TAC is a leading trainer provider not only in India, but also in almost all the countries of the world. So this is all about the Collabera and Collabera TAC. So coming to the trainer, so myself, I'm Sriram. So I'm the trainer who is going to provide training on Hadoop administration. I have a 3+ years of real world Hadoop experience in Hadoop administration with over 10+ years experience in IT industry. So this all my 3 years, I have a complete Hadoop administration experience, and I have 2+ years of experience in training and mentorship. So I mentor so many students, and I mentor so many people who want to move into Hadoop administration and also who want to know about big data and Hadoop. So I have my highest qualification as MTech from IIT, and I have completed my MTech in 2007. So I'm working with top MNC of India as a Hadoop administrator, and I have trained more than 500 students in the Hadoop administration course. So the most biggest advantage with my course is, and the most satisfying point for me is, the numerous students who have taken the course have achieved HDPA certification under my esteemed mentorship. So HDPCA, which can also be called as Hortonworks Data Platform Certified Administrator for Hadoop, is one of the most important certification, which is well recognized by all the organizations who plan to implement Hortonworks or Hadoop in their environment. And also, I have rich real-world experience in Apache Hadoop, Cloudera, and Hortonworks. Finally, I am certified both from Cloudera and Hortonworks So I'm a Cloudera certified administrator for Hadoop and also Hortonworks certified administrator for Hadoop. So in short, these are few lines about myself. So I don't think I don't talk much about myself. So this is in short about me. And before I move to the next slide, I have to explain one thing, guys. So I have been real world Hadoop administrator, and I'm not a 100% full-time trainer. So I take this training out of my zeal, and it's my curiosity, and also it's my interest to teach so many students, and I want to train them. So it's my zeal. I work as a Hadoop administrator, and with this experience, I keep on explaining them the real issues in the real world issues in Hadoop administration. So that really helps all my students. So this is in short about myself, and my name is Shriram. So thanks for having patience and listening to my introduction. So coming to coming to the next slide, who can take up this course? So big data career opportunities on steep rise, and Hadoop is becoming a mandatory technology for professionals mostly with experience, as mentioned over here. So system administrators and IT managers who were looking after the systems or various IT infrastructure, they are forced, or they are being they are being they have to learn big data so that they can get expertise in big data Hadoop administration, and they can grab the opportunities in this real world. Along with them, we have IT administrators and operators and IT systems engineers and data engineers and database administrators, data analytics administrators and cloud systems administrators, web engineers. So anyone who falls into this area, they can take this course, and this course is all about again Hadoop administration. And as I kept in star mark, Hadoop administration is mandatory for those who want to learn Hadoop development and also for Hadoop architects. So why Hadoop administration is required for Hadoop developers? So whomsoever it may be, if they want to develop their code and if they want to execute their programs in the Hadoop world, it's really required for them to get an idea on the overall environment wherein Hadoop is installed. So Hadoop administration is required for Hadoop developers to understand the environment, and it is considered as a must for Hadoop architects. So as an architect, they should know the environment. So without knowing the environment, an architect cannot provide possible solutions for the clients. So Hadoop administration is considered as a must for Hadoop architects, and it is required for developers for better understanding on their environment, and really helps them to write their code in a better manner. And the next important thing which is there with star mark is anyone with basic knowledge on Unix can take up this course and can shift their technology into Hadoop. So anyone who wants to move into Hadoop administration or Hadoop, the only prerequisite I say is the basic knowledge on Unix is required. And the most important question which I usually face from various students is Java required? So is the Java knowledge really required to take up this course? I can say with 100% assurance that Java knowledge is not mandatory to learn Hadoop administration course. So if anyone who doesn't want to learn Java but want to move into Hadoop or big data, so I recommend them to learn Hadoop administration. So Java knowledge is not mandatory to learn Hadoop administration course. So this is all about for those who can take up this course, and I hope with this you can come to a conclusion if you want to really take up this course or not. So before I move further, so I can say the most important thing again is Java knowledge is not mandatory, and the only prerequisite is the basic knowledge on Unix. So these two are the prerequisites. Sorry, this is the prerequisite, and Java knowledge is not mandatory. So this is the most important question I face from various students. So with this, I conclude this slide. Let me move further. So what is the role of a Hadoop administrator in the Hadoop world? So as you see, every organization is trying to move into Hadoop area, and whenever they want to shift their existing technologies into Hadoop, the first person whom they think of is a Hadoop administrator, because Hadoop administrator or a platform engineer responsibilities are to install and configure Hadoop, and this gives rise to the importance of Hadoop administrator. So when various companies are moving into Hadoop, the first point of contact for them, or the first person whom they look after, is Hadoop administrator, because without building the infrastructure, they cannot do their coding or they cannot do their analysis. So this really gives rise to the importance of Hadoop administrator in the Hadoop world. And also, if you see, Hadoop is a very recent technology and it is expected to go through quick pace of improvements, and hence Hadoop administrator is really required to implement various improvements in the Hadoop platform. So initially we had MapReduce when Hadoop came into picture. So initially there was Hadoop 1.0, and later on, as this is a niche technology, there are so many improvements ongoing in this technology. So if you want to implement those changes in the infrastructure, it's really required to get an administrator into picture. So we have Hadoop 1.0, and Hadoop 1.0 has gone into tremendous changes, and Hadoop 2.0 is released, and in another 6 months or 1 year, we are going to get Hadoop 3.0. So each 1.0, 2.0 and 3.0 are differentiated with various features. So if the organization want to implement those features in the platform, they really require the Hadoop administrator. So this is another importance of the Hadoop administrator in the Hadoop world. And also, implementation of Hadoop in an organization starts with Hadoop administrator, and maintenance of the cluster is equally important. So at any given point of time, if the Hadoop cluster is down, then it's like everyone is down without work, and they cannot do any work. So maintenance of the Hadoop cluster is equally important along with the installation. And a Hadoop administrator plays a key role in installing the cluster and in maintaining the cluster and securing and monitoring and configuring the Hadoop cluster. So maintaining the security of Hadoop cluster is equally important in various sectors like healthcare and banking, because as I said, Hadoop is a niche technology, and when it is a niche technology, it's clear that there will be so many technology improvements related to security also. So to implement security on a Hadoop cluster, it's really required to have an Hadoop administrator in picture. So these are the installation, maintenance, security, or securing and monitoring, configuring the Hadoop cluster are the major duties of a Hadoop administration in the real world. So I have gone through various phases, guys. So I have installed an Apache Hadoop cluster. I have installed an Hortonworks cluster. I have installed a Cloudera cluster. So I know how to install a cluster, how to maintain a cluster, and how to implement security and how to configure the Hadoop cluster. So these are the various roles of the Hadoop administrator in the real world. And I can say these three are not the major roles, but these are the most important roles of a Hadoop administrator in the Hadoop world. So with this, let me move further. And highlights of this course. So for those who want to move into Hadoop technology, the highlights of this course are: the first most important thing is course content is designed in such a way that the course is mostly practical oriented rather than theoretical classes. So 80% of the course is on practical topics and 20% of them are on theory. So as a Hadoop administrator, you should have more practical knowledge than theoretical knowledge. So to keeping that in mind, I have made my course to be designed in such a way 80% of the course is on practical topics. So the most important thing is, after successful completion of this course, clearing HDPCA certification will not be a major task. And HDPCA certification, as I said in my first slides, is Hortonworks Data Platform Certified Administrator for Hadoop, and this certification is provided by the Hortonworks distribution, and it is recognized as one of the best certifications for Hadoop administrator. So the best advantage is, once after you complete this course, you can go ahead and register for HDPCA certification. And as I said, teaching is my passion, and I do work on real world Hadoop administration use cases. So I really explain the classes whenever it's required. I explain them the real world use cases will be explained as a part of this course. And as I said, I'm not a 100% trainer, so students get exposure to real world issues and also real world topics in the Hadoop administration. And the next best part of this course is all the very advanced and recent topics are included in this course, such as Kerberos Ranger Knox. For those who don't know Kerberos Ranger Knox, they are the recent and very advanced topics in the security aspects of the Hadoop. So all these topics will be discussed, and if you see the star mark, the course curriculum is not fixed and it is not as per this slide. It will be regularly updated to accommodate the latest topics and bypassing the outdated topics, and this helps students to keep in pace with the latest technologies. Again, as I said previously, the Hadoop is a technology which is quickly moving, and we can see so many improvements in Hadoop within short span of time. So keeping this in mind, I keep on updating the topics, and I will just pass away the old topics and I'll accommodate the latest topics so that the students can get in touch with the latest technologies. And the most important thing, which I can say, which I can proudly say, we are going to deal are the 5 core security features of Hadoop administration are dealt as a part of this course. They are administration, authentication and perimeter security, authorization, auditing and data protection. So the 5 core security features are going to be dealt as a part of this course. So to before I wrap this slide, I can say 3 important points. The first important one is the course is designed in such a way that 80% topics are on practicals and 20% on theoretical part, and after completing the course, getting or achieving HDPCS certification will not be a difficult task. And the most important thing is all the real world use cases, most of the real world use cases are explained, and again the most important, another one most important thing is all the security aspects are dealt as a part of this course. And right now in the current world, as of today in 2017 May, I can say these 5 core security features are really important for those who are working as an Hadoop administrator. So if you can achieve, if you can get good knowledge on these 5 core security features, achieving a job in Hadoop administration will not be a difficult task. So these are the highlights of the course. And let me move further. And the course objectives are, and if you see the star mark, so I'll come back on this again. The course is designed to cover below topics. So introduction to big data, and importance of data for enterprises, and introduction to Apache Hadoop. So Apache Hadoop is the mother of Hadoop. We can say Apache Hadoop is the mother of Hadoop, and from Apache Hadoop, all these distributions like Cloudera and Hortonworks have come up. So for us to understand the difference between Apache Hadoop and commercial distributions is really required. So Apache Hadoop is not used in the production world, but understanding Apache Hadoop is really required to understand the differences between Apache Hadoop and also the commercial distributions. And understanding the Hadoop 1.0 and 2.0. As of now, this is the course objectives. And so once after we get Hadoop 3.0, that will be added to this course objectives. And finally, Apache Hadoop installation. So this is all about the big data and Apache Hadoop. So going to the installation, so we are going to cover installation of HDP or Hortonworks data platform, and these are the topics related to that. So installation, configuration, and while configuration, we configure the capacity scheduler and all these topics. And also troubleshooting the Hortonworks Hadoop cluster and high availability and security. And finally, the course gets completed by understanding the differences among Hortonworks, Cloudera, and Mappa distributions and their implementations. So after completing this course, anyone who wants to learn Hadoop, Hadoop administration in particular, they can understand the installation aspects, configuration, troubleshooting, high availability, and security aspects of Hortonworks. And finally, the course gets completed with Hortonworks by explaining the differences among Hortonworks, Cloudera, and Mappa distributions. So these are the course objectives. And as I said, the course objectives, the star mark says the course objectives, as I said before, will keep on changing. So it will be updated on a regular basis. So these are the course objectives, guys. So the most important question is, what learning outcomes can be expected? So what are the outcomes can be expected after completing this course? So after completing this course, you will be able to understand the fundamentals of big data and its characteristics and various scalability options to help organizations manage big data, and master the concepts of Hadoop framework, learn about cluster management solutions like Ambari and its capabilities for setup and deploying, maintaining, and monitoring Hadoop clusters, and also learning Hadoop administration activities, learn about computational frameworks for processing big data like Yarn, and learn about cluster planning and tools for data ingestion into Hadoop clusters. And also more about once after you complete the course, you will learn about the components with Hadoop ecosystem like Hive, HBase, etc. And understanding the security implementation to secure the data and clusters, and learn about Hadoop cluster monitoring activities, and understanding the installation, configuration, troubleshooting, maintenance, and security aspects of Hadoop cluster. And finally, again, I'm reiterating it, able to achieve practical oriented HTTP certification, which gives priority to resume, and also able to understand different commercial distributions and able to implement them. So these are the various learning outcomes which can be expected after completing this course. And in addition to this, before I move to the demo, I would like to highlight one of the other things, guys. So if you see my first slide, so we have a global footprint from Canada to Philippines. So I see various students joining the course from Canada to Philippines. I've seen various students coming from United States, from Ireland, from India, from Philippines within the same batch. So as I'm from Indian origin, my accent will be related to Indian, but I keep my special concentration on those who are from non-Indian origin, so that they don't face any problem with my delivery. So this is one of the highlights of this course, guys. So I take special care on them who are from non-Indian origin, because they have to understand my slang and they have to get comfortable with this course. So that's something I'm guaranteeing. So don't worry about that. So this is all about the course. Let's go and let's complete the demo of installing a 3-node HTTP cluster on AWS cloud. So I'm not going to install them on premise or on physical servers. So I'm going to use Amazon Web Services Cloud to install a 3-node HTTP cluster. So this, let me keep this PPT aside and let's go further. So the first and foremost thing is you have to log into AWS. So for those who don't know AWS is an Amazon Web Services. It's a cloud service provider. So before I move into the course, let me take a notepad and let me try to explain a few things. To install Hortonworks, we need at least 3 servers with 8 GB RAM and 30 GB hard disk on each server. So this is the recommendation from Hortonworks, guys. So this is the recommendation from Hortonworks. So if you want to install Hortonworks, we need at least 3 servers with 8 GB RAM and 30 GB hard disk on each server. So that implies we need at least 24 GB RAM and 90 GB hard disk. So I believe getting or achieving 90 GB hard disk will not be a problem. But how can I get 24 GB RAM? So most of the laptops or most of the desktops are equipped only with 6 GB or 8 GB or at most 12 GB. So at most 16 GB. But how can I get servers, 3 servers using with each with 8 GB RAM? So this is where this Amazon Web Services come into picture. And from Amazon Web Services, which is a cloud service provider, you can rent out the servers for your installation or for your practice. The only thing is we have to shell out some money from our pockets for using this. So how much it costs and all those things I'll explain in my classes, but we can go ahead and we can use AWS. So once after you log into AWS, go to services. If you don't have an account, please create an account. And once after you create an account, you will see something like this. So go to services, go to EC2, and let me launch an instance. So we are going to take an Red Hat 7.3 operating system. So why only Red Hat 7.3? I'll explain it a little bit later. So but I'm going to take Red Hat 7.3. So select it. So now here if you see, these are the virtual CPU cores and this is the memory. So we require at least 3 servers with 8 GB RAM and 2 cores are sufficient. So if I can take this kind of instance, so that is T2.large. So T2.large is not eligible for free tier and we will be charged for some amount for using this instance. So we are going to take 3 instances of T2.large, each with 8 GB RAM and also 2 CPU cores. So let me move further and configure those instances. And here I'm going to take 3 instances, and other things keep it as it is. Let's go with the defaults. Next, add storage. So I'm going to use 30 GB hard disk on each server. So we are going to take 30 GB as a storage on each server. So next, click on add tags. So these tags are required to differentiate the servers. Let me say Hortonworks node 1 and click on configure security group. So let's go with my analysis, go with my wording, guys. So what you have to do is choose all traffic, say anywhere in the world. So what we are going to do is we are making our servers open to world. So I'm just saving it so that I can use it later. So we are making all our 3 servers open to the world, and we are allowing all traffic from all ports from anywhere in the world. So we are not going to maintain any security. This is only for learning purpose. So I recommend everyone, for your learning purpose, keep the instances open to the world. So let's let's move further. Click on review and launch. So just launch the instance. So you see your instance configuration is not eligible for free usage. So we will be shelled out some money. So if you want to understand more, you can click on this link and you can understand. So click on launch. So we have to create a key pair. I'll keep the key pair as Sriram demo, and we need this key pair, and I'm using Windows operating system. So I'll explain why this key pair is really required. So download this key pair. So just give me a moment. Save and launch instances. So sorry for this. So let me back to the review screen, and let me go here, configure the security group. Sorry for this, I have to change the name. So it's already present, so I have to change the name. Just say review and launch. So Sriram demo. So we have created the key pair, so I'm going to use that key pair. Click on launch instances. So it's going to launch. So if you want to see the launching instances, go here, click on view instances. So we are going to get 3 servers. So you see, these are the names. Let me change them. So I'll keep it as node 2 and the other one as node 3. So we are going to have 3 instances, each with 8 GB RAM. So let me keep this aside for some time, and let's go to something else. So here, just give me a second, guys. So this is the PEM file which we have downloaded. So let me take a PPK file. So we need a PPK file for that PEM file. So PPK file can be achieved by using this partition. So click on this load and choose so here PEM file. So all files, choose this PEM file, click on open, just say save private key, just say yes, and here I'll give the same name, but I'll keep it as underscore ppk. So this contains the private key. So this is really required for logging into the servers. So let's go to the instances. So all of them are running. So in order to launch or in order to enter to any of this instance, you have to take the public IP. Remember, guys, so public IP is the IP through which you have to log into the instances. So take on this public IP, copy it, open the putty, give this IP address, and this is what I'm doing on Windows machine. So go to SSH, click on authorization, click on browse, and open the PPK file which we have stored. So this is the PPK file. Open it, open. So these are the concepts of AWS. I'll explain in detail in our original classes. So change settings. So let me change the appearance. apply. So here EC2-user. So this is again the concept of AWS, guys. So whenever you're logging in, you have to log in as a EC2 user to the server. If you want to go through as a root user, just click on sudo su hyphen and just key cat etc red hat release. So this says that we are going to have Red Hat 7.3 as our installation OS. So this is the version, and we are going to use these 3 servers for installation. So these are the 3 servers, guys. So all of them are running, and we have the public IP for all of them. So let's go and let's start our installation. So before I move, so we have to go through and we have to use the vendor documentation. So vendor documentation is really required. So we have to go with the Hortonworks documentation. So this is really required for installing the course, for installing the Hortonworks cluster. So we shall go through this documentation and we will install the Hortonworks cluster. Again, vendor documentation is really required. So fine, guys. So let's choose the HTTP version, the Hortonworks data platform version. You can choose any version. So let's go to 2.5.3 and let's go to Apache Ambari installation. So this starts with this we will start the installation. So we will start it. So to install Hortonworks, we need Ambari, and this explains the stack compatibility between Hortonworks and Ambari. So to install HTTP 2.5, we need Ambari 2.4.x, and we will understand the Ambari a little bit later. And let's see that. I mean, before we proceed further, we have to make sure that we have to install Ambari 2.4.x and to install HTTP 2.5. So we will understand this Ambari and HTTP a little bit later. So let's move next, and let's see the minimum requirements. So the operating system requirements are, we need to have, or we can install Hortonworks or HTTP in any of the servers which has met these requirements. So if you see, our server has Red Hat 7.3 and Red Hat 7.x is supported for installation. So this is met. So we have installed Red Hat 7.3. So let's click on next. So these are the browser requirements. So we are going to use the browser which I am highlighting. So for installation. So it is not heavily important, but it's recommended to follow the browser requirements. So this my browser meets these requirements, so we can proceed further. So first of all, we are going to see what are the system requirements to install Hortonworks. So click on next and Apache Ambari installation. So we are going to start, and we need to have all this software on all the servers. So I'm sure all these softwares are present on all these servers. So if you see, let me take this. So yum and RPM are installed. So if you say which yum, you can say m is installed, which RPM is installed, and this is for RHEL. And we need to have all these softwares. I'm sure that all these softwares are installed. And OpenSSL and Python, we need to have these versions. OpenSSL is used for certifications, or sorry, for creating certificates on the cluster, and Python is used as the backend software for installing Hortonworks. So let's see the versions. So to see the OpenSSL version, so this is the command. So we have 1.0.1e. So we have 1.0.1e. Let's see the Python version. Python -V. So 2.7.5. So for Red Hat, for CentOS 7 or Red Hat 7, it's Python 2.7.x. So we have met the software requirements. So, but I know that wget is not installed, so we will install it. So just say install wget. So as I said, it's really, it's a little bit required to understand the concepts of Unix. So install wget is nothing but it's going to install a software called wget for us. So it's going to install a software called wget for us. So that's the software requirements on all the servers. So it's okay to do this wget installation only on one server, and we are going to use this server to install Ambari. So these are the various software requirements. Let's click on next. And for those who don't know, Hadoop is a framework which is built on top of Java. So Hadoop is a framework which is built on top of Java, and Oracle JDK or OpenJDK are really required to install Hortonworks or any framework of Hadoop. So we are going to leave it as it is, and Ambari is going to install JDK on all the three servers. So we can leave it for now. So click on next. So we need to have some databases for Hive, Ambari, etc. So I'll come back on this again during the installation. So I'm just keeping this topic as pending. So let's move further. The minimum memory requirements are, we need to have minimum 1 GB, or for if as we are going to host 3 servers, we need 1 GB service. So we are using 8 GB RAM and 30 GB. So obviously this meets the requirements. So we can skip it off and we can move further. And the package size and inode requirements. So inodes, the package size and inode requirements are met by the Red Hat 7. So we can move further, and we will see the maximum open file descriptors. So we will see what are there. So it's 1024. So we will increase it to 10,000. And let's move further. So the next one is collect information. So the first chapter is all about meeting the minimum system requirements for Hortonworks installation. And one more thing, guys. So this is something which I'm going through, and in real world classes, the course curriculum, the classes will not be like this. So whatever may be the questions, all the questions will be answered, and without completing the without answering your questions, the course doesn't get completed, or this topic doesn't get completed. As a demo, I'm taking on the course, or I'm taking on the installation, but all the questions will be answered as a part of the training. So we are going to store name node data, data nodes data, and secondary name node data in some of the folders. So if you really want a few folders, if you have dedicated folders for them, so we can note them, or else we can go with the defaults. So we will go with the defaults on the cluster, and I'll come back on this again. So click on next. Click on next. So set up passwordless SSH. So we need to do a passwordless SSH from one server to all the other servers. So we have 3 servers installed. We have 3 servers on which we are planning to install Hortonworks. So on server 1, we are going to install Ambari, and there should be passwordless SSH connection from server 1 to server 2 and server 3. So this is taken care by during the installation on AWS servers, so we can leave it off. This will be taken care during the installation by the AWS. So click on next. So set up service user accounts. So if this is really a little bit advanced, so we are not going to deal this right now, but because it is really a little bit advanced. So click on next. So we need to have NTP on the cluster and also the browser host. What is NTP? NTP is nothing but network time protocol service. So this service is required to maintain same time on all the servers which are part of the cluster. Fine. So why do we need this? If there is time difference among servers in the cluster, then the installation may fail. So in our case, the time is the same on all servers, and this is AWS environment, and time sync will be taken care on the back end by AWS. So we can skip off this topic for now, but I'll be explaining how to enable NTP on physical servers during my class. So it will not be left like that, but in my class I'll explain how to enable NTP by taking my physical servers. If someone wants to know my PC properties, so this is my PC, guys. So this is the one which I use often for my training. So my PC is equipped with 32 GB RAM and 8 core processor. I usually have this much high-end desktop because I practice little bit more on Hortonworks and a lot. So I don't depend on cloud. So I want to practice. So for my practice purpose, I use both AWS and also my server. So I have my own VMware workstation. So using this VMware workstation, I explain the guys on how to install the servers even in the VMware, and also what is this NTP, etc., etc. All will be explained using this VMware installation. Sorry, we using the VMware installation. I built so many servers, and it will be explained over here also. Fine. So let's move further. So check DNS. DNS is used for mapping hostname to IP address and IP address to hostname. So this is really required for those who have large number of hosts. And in our case, we are going to use Amazon Web Services again. So it will be taken care by the AWS. But again, as I said, I'm going to explain them in the physical servers in my class. So click on next. So edits the host file. So if you see the host file, the most important thing is the server got disconnected. So let's wait for some time. So the most important thing is the first two lines in the etc host file should not be disturbed. So this is one of the issues I have faced a lot during our installations in my initial days. So the first two lines in the etc host file should not be disturbed, and it should be the same. So this is the most important thing. Sorry. So let's log in again. So let's say log in as a root user. So if you see etc host, so the first two lines should be the same. Never disturb these two lines. That's a very straight warning I'm giving to everyone. So never disturb the first two lines. So let's move further. And each server should have a host name. So in my case, the host name is like this. It's set by the Hortonworks. Sorry, it's set by the AWS. So I'm going to use the same host name. The same way, each server has its own host name. So these are the host names associated with each server. So I'm using the host names provided by the AWS. So that's about this. Let's move further. So if you want to set the host name, we can set up using these commands. So if you want to set the host name, we can set up. So I'm not going to do that right now. And also we have to make sure we have to stop the firewall. So the firewall has to be stopped, and this is taken care by the AWS again. So there is no need to do. So if you see about the security group, if you remember while configuring the instances, I configured the security groups as open to world. So that itself, sorry again. So that itself will take care about this. So but in the classes, I'll explain each and everything. So let's move on next. So disable SA Linux. So it will be taken care by the AWS. So I'll take up this in the original classes, but it has been taken care. So let's move further. And local repository. So this is the chapter I'm not going to explain right now, but I'll explain in my classes. Let me skip it off and let me go to the second chapter. Let me download the Ambari repository. Sorry. Yeah, let me download the Ambari repository. So again, our operating system is, remember this. So we are on Red Hat 7.3. So whatever the configurations you make, or whatever the options, whenever there are options, you choose accordingly. So ours is RHEL 7. So click on this and download the Ambari repository. Copy. So let's move. So let's say, let me clear off the screen. So I'm going to get the Ambari repo. It will be there in etc m.repos.d. So what is m.repos.d and what is a repository will be covered in the class as a part of this chapter. As a part of this using local repository, I'll explain all the things. But for this demo purpose, I'm not going to take up this chapter. So please excuse me for that. So I have downloaded the repository. So let me move and let me set up the Ambari server. So before setting up the Ambari server, I have downloaded it, and let me give a command called mRepoList. So we have Ambari 12 RPMs. So this is most important. So we have all the software required to install Ambari. Let's move further. Let's say install Ambari server. Guys, we have to follow the Hortonworks documentation. So that's really required. So it's going to install Ambari server for us. So it will take some time. So after successful installation, we will see complete. So once after we complete the installation, we have to set up the Ambari server. So we are going on the RHEL 7. So this chapter is enough, and we can skip off all these chapters. Let's go and let's continue the setup. So once after the Ambari is installed, just click on Ambari-server setup. So let's say yes. So it's going to install Ambari server for us. So let's give some time. So it's going to install Ambari server. As you can see from the screen, the fourth option is going to install Ambari server. So it will take 2 minutes time based on your internet speed. So let us give some time. So it's installing Ambari. So it's complete. So let's set up the Ambari. So for the initial installations, I recommend everyone just say yes and customize. Go with the defaults. Go with the defaults. Customize user account. Just say no. And choice, as we haven't installed Oracle, as I said, Ambari is going to install Oracle for us. So it's going to install Oracle JDK 1.8 if you choose option 1. So let's go with the defaults. Let's say yes. It's going to install JDK 8 and minor version 77. So we are setting up the Ambari. So for the initial practice, go with the defaults. So we have installed Ambari server, and we are setting up the Ambari server. So it's going to use PostgreSQL as a database. So let's give some time for it to set up the Ambari server. So Ambari server setup completed successfully. So you can see all the options here, but for now we will go with the defaults. So once after it is set up, we have to start the Ambari server. So Ambari is the server. Ambari is the software through which we are going to install Hortonworks. So click on this. So we are going to start the Ambari server on this particular server. Sorry again. So it takes some time for the Ambari server to get started. So it's waiting for the Ambari server to get started. So once after you start the Ambari, so let me move further. So we are going to install, configure and deploy an Hortonworks data platform cluster. Click on this and log into Apache Ambari. So this is the server on which Ambari server has been started. So let's see the status. So sorry, cd etc m.repos.t. So if you want to see the status, we can go here. If you want to see the command, let's see the command. So the command is start the Ambari. So Ambari-server status. There's a typo from my end. So it is running. So once after you running, so if you see the host name, so this is 31141 is the host name. Let's move further. Let's go here and let's see the node 1. So 31141 is the private DNS. So we have to take this public IP and go to the browser. Just say HTTP, this IP address and port 8080. So you see, installing, configuring. So the first chapter is log into Apache Ambari. So your Ambari server host and port 8080. So on this server, we have installed Ambari and we are logging in using the public IP. Remember again, we have to use the public IP. So just say by default the password is admin and the username is also admin. So admin are the credentials by default. So click on sign in. So let's start the installation. So click on launch install wizard. So we have to give a name to the cluster. So let me say demo cluster. Click on next. So we are going to install HTTP 2.5.5.0 and also these are the public repositories. So as I said, you will understand more on these repositories once after I explain the repository chapters. So we are going to use public repositories and we are going to install HTTP 2.5, 2.5.5. So let's move further. And this contains the, this is a list of servers in which we are going to install Hortonworks. So we have 3 servers. So we have to take the private DNS, not the public DNS. So take the private DNS and give the 3 host names. And the third one, private DNS. And here we are going to use EC2-user as the user with which we are going to install the cluster, and the private key is the PEM file which we have created during our EC2 launching, we're launching the EC2 instances. If you remember, these are the keys. So these are the keys. So let me take it, and if you remember, we are logging in as a EC2 user. So we have to choose the PEM file. So this is the PEM file. So this is the PEM file. If you see RSA private key, and if you go bottom, end of the private key. So here we have to give the private key, and the private key is something. This is one which we have created while in creating the instances. So just click on this, give the EC2-user and port 22. Just say register and confirm. So during this process, what happens is the Ambari server which is installed on this server will install Ambari agents in all these 3 servers. So Hadoop Hortonworks installation is distributed among various servers. So whenever we want to do any activity on Ambari UI, the Ambari server which is installed on this host will contact all these agents present in all these hosts, and it will direct the agents to do any activity. So we are going to install agents on all these servers, and these agents will help the Ambari server which is installed in this particular server. So this is the server in which we have installed Ambari agent. So let's see. So we have Ambari server and we have Ambari agent. So these agents, they take the orders from the Ambari server and they will do anything. Whatever the Ambari server directs, these agents will do those things on this particular server. So there are some warnings. So this is an NTPD issue. So we can ignore this for AWS instances. So if you have any warnings, we have to clear all of them. But there are no warnings, let's ignore them. Sorry again. So click on next. It says the host checks are failed. So for our case, it's okay. Let's click on OK and continue. So we have to choose the services which are required for Hortonworks installation. So I'm going with bare minimum, HDFS, Yarn, Tails, and I'm going with bare minimum, guys. So for the demo purpose, so I'm not going to install any of these services. The advantage of managing the cluster through Ambari is if you want to install any of this service later, we can install them. So I'm going with a bare minimum for demo purpose. So as I'm choosing just HDFS and Yarn and Tails, Peg and Zookeeper, that's it, and Ambari metrics. So I'm going to explain the importance of Knox and importance of all the Ranger So if you see, there are other services. So discussion on all these services will be there later, and focus is made on this Knox, which is a single point of authentication and access for Apache Hadoop. In addition to this, we have a service called Ranger. So I'm just looking after that. So even we are going to install, or we are going to, I'm going to explain on the Ranger also. So we are going to, I'm going to explain on all those topics. So, but that is done after installation. So as a demo purpose, I'm going with the bare minimum services. So let's click on, I have choose the services. Let's click on next. So Smart Sense is a commercial product of Hortonworks. So we can ignore and we can proceed anyway. So we have to distribute our services. So I'll distribute name node to other server, and secondary name node and name node should not be on the same servers. So other server, and resource manager, the third one. So I've distributed the services. So how the services are to be distributed will be explained in the class. So click on next. So we are going to install data nodes on 3 servers, and node managers on 3 servers, and client services on all these 3 servers. So click on next. So we are going with the defaults. So there is a red mark. Choose this one, and we will explain. I'll explain each and every concept or each and every configuration once after the installation. So after the installation, I'll go through all the most important configuration files or most important configurations or properties after the installation. So let's complete the installation first of all, and let's click on next. So I'm going with the default values. Let's go with next. So this is for our review, and if you want to print it, we can print it, but just leave it. So just click on deploy. So Hortonworks or Ambari is going to deploy name node, secondary name node, and all the services on all the different servers. So this is an automated installation, and Ambari will install it automatically. So it takes some time. It's at 4%. So it's going to install everything in a sequential manner, and it takes some time. So let's wait for some time, and let me pause the recording for a moment. So if you see the installation, so all the components are installed on the first server, and it's going to waiting for start. So it's on the third server, all the components are installed, and it's waiting for start, and we will wait for all the components to be installed on the server too. So we are again, I'm repeating. So this is a bare minimum installation, and we can add the services later on, and how to add the services, etc. will be dealt a little bit later. And one more most important thing I want to show you guys is, let's go to Google and say Hortonworks Hadoop admin certification. So as I said, I keep on changing my curriculum. As of now, the curriculum is completely focused on HDPCA certification. So if you see the objectives, open the objectives. So all these objectives, installation, configuration, troubleshooting, and high availability and security. So none of these topics are left. All these topics will be covered during the installation, in the course. So that's why I said, once after you complete the course, getting or achieving HDPCA certification will not be a difficult task. And it really makes sense if you complete a course, so that that course helps you to achieve a certification. And in this case, as I said, HDPCA certification is a recognized certification among various people, among various companies in the current world. So if you achieve HDPCA certification and if you get a badge, then you are recognized as a certified administrator, and it gives value to your resume. So I'm 100% sure, if one follows my classes very completely and regularly, achieving HDPCA certification is not a difficult task. And the course curriculum is designed based on this certification topics. So if you see, the installation was successful on 2 servers. So let's wait for some more time for the installation to get completed on the third server. So with this demo, I'm able to explain you how to install a bare minimum Hortonworks cluster. It would not be the case in the class, and I'm going to explain each and every topic in minute and each and every topic which is there in this documentation in minute. So there are few things which I haven't explained as a part of this demo due to time constraint, but every topic and every word is taken seriously in the class, and everything will be explained in detail in the class. So that's something, guys. So let's wait for some more time for this installation to get completed. So let's wait for some more time. It's 82%. So it's going to do some service checks. So when whatever the services or whatever if you have installed HDFS, YARN, and PIG, so it is going. Ambari is going to do the service checks. And for those who want to know, I'm going to maintain one separate folder for each class. So we will see the current batches. We are going to maintain a separate Excel sheet. So this gives, this is the Excel sheet I maintain for all the batches, and I have started this very recently. So all the topics are written in the Excel sheet. If you see the probability to appear in HDPCA. So I'm going to cover all the topics, and if you can see high, 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 and high, 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 it means that this topic is really important for HDPCA certification, and also these topics are important for real world interviews. So I maintain this, and whatever the students have questions, for example, if they have any question on day one and that question can be answered in any of the later topics, they will be taken care in the Excel sheet, so that I'm not going to miss any of the questions. So if you see for this batch, why Apache Hadoop installation is important, I haven't taken this, but if you see Apache Hadoop installation is taken care in this sixth row. So here I'll come back again, and someone has asked me why Apache Hadoop installation is really required when we are not going to use them in the production world. So they will get an answer once after I explain this topic. So I have made an Excel sheet, and this Excel sheet has been handshaken with all the students. So the installation is complete on all the 3 servers. So everything is green. So let's click on next. And if you see, the installation got completed in 6 minutes. So let's click on complete. So the installation is successful, and all the services are in green in color. So we can add the services later by using actions add service. If we want to add any more service, we can add it using this add service, and that is there as a part of my curriculum. So this demo is just installing Hortonworks using Ambari. So I hope you have enjoyed the class, and before I wind up the class, I would like to remind you 4 or 5 important points. The first important point is the course is purely practical oriented, and if anyone has any problem with my accent or with my vocabulary, special care will be taken so that everyone will be satisfied with my vocabulary or with my voice or anything. And the next one is clearing HDPCA certification, or else Cloudera certification, I can say, will not be a difficult task once after you complete the course. And the fourth one is the course is purely, the course also the course is designed in such a way it discusses the latest topics on security, and as of May 2017, the security aspects are really important for the whole in the Hadoop admin world. And the fourth and the final one, before I wind up the course, I can say the course curriculum is regularly updated, and it is updated in such a way the latest topics are switched in and the outdated topics are switched out. So with this, I'm completing the demo of installing the Hortonworks cluster using Ambari, and this recording, I'm ending this recording. I wish everyone and all the best to everyone who want to become Hadoop administrators, and I hope to see you again in my classes. So thank you guys. Thanks everyone for listening to the recordings. Thanks again. Bye bye.